Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another morning of stamping. My name is Sarah Simon. I am an independent excuse me, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Appleton, Wisconsin. And yes, my cold is back. It came back with kind of a vengeance. I've been coughing a lot. Um, the nice thing is, I told my mom I don't cough at night. I take something at night and I go to sleep and I sleep all night. And so that's not a problem. It's just during the day that's a problem. So, good morning to all of you who jumped on here. It looks like Julie's here from North Dakota. Blustery, yes, I'm sure. And thank you for sharing. And Jeanne is here from Oregon, and it's chilly there. Yeah, let's see what it is here. It's 20 degrees, but the wind chill isn't as bad. We had a cold day this week from school. So Tuesday, we didn't have school. The wind chills were like minus 40. And the buses just don't like to run in that. So we had off of school. I had to go in because we had an interview because we're interviewing for a new president for our school system. And so I had to go in for that. So hello, Kelly and Mary and Lori and Debbie and Sarah and Karen. Becky, Amanda, both of you on this morning, Nancy and Melanie, Myra, um, and Denise and Mary. Thank you guys all for joining me this morning. I have to go to a funeral. I don't know if I'm going to stay for the actual funeral itself. I'm going to go see the family. I think I might watch the funeral excuse me, from home, just because of this. I don't want to be coughing all over people. Hello, Nancy and Sarah. And so I'm going to try to get through this and then go there. And for those of you that won prizes last week, I did not get them to the post office. But today, hello, Denise. I am going, when I go to this funeral, the post office is like right down the block. So I'm going to drop all of that off when I go to church so that I can get those in the mail to you, and I will package up the prizes for today. And they're both going to go out today in the mail. So, oh my goodness. I hope I can make it through this. So, I didn't share my happy mail last week, and so I'm going to start with that. Look at this card with that beautiful butterfly die. This is coming to me from Donna, and look at that. She cut that out. This opens up as well, and she's got stuff written on the inside, and then where she cut it out, she put on the inside as her layer. And she's got all these: an angel in disguise, glad I'm on your team, you are unique, one of a kind. Such nice sayings. It was such a nice card to get in the mail. So thank you, Donna. And I received this from, I think this was from Christine Bertram, thanking me for helping her with her event. Isn't that cute? I love that punch, and it has two stamp sets that go with it. This I received from Tracy, and look at that. I love that changing leaves. It's so elegant. Just kind of the white and the soft sea foam and how soft and just pretty that is. Look at this fun card with the new bees. This is from Lisa Nealand, and she was thanking me for giving the demonstration at Christine's event. And she used the sandpaper that I gave her to be able to make this card. And then this is from Nancy. Nancy's on here this morning. Look at how cute this is. This is um, the fold that I did just not last week, but the week before, where it flip flops, and where you cut out that little edge and make your front fold. So thank you all so much for the happy mail. I appreciate it. We have been busy, and illness keeps making its rounds. I know, right? Like, I thought I had this gone. I thought it was gone. Had it at Christmas, and then all of a sudden it came back. But I'm in so many different classes. Like, if I counted up how many classes I was in this week, I was probably in 20 different classrooms this week. between Monday and Friday, and we didn't have school on Tuesday. So you're getting all those germs that are coming from all those classes, and I try to wash my hands a lot. But a 4K classroom, you're telling them make sure you go blow your nose because it's dripping from their nose and they don't feel it. Um, so there's a lot of that I have contact with, and so I probably picked something up from one of the kids, I'm guessing. All right, prizes. Let's give some prizes away. So, I don't know what that, okay, there we go. Last week I used some of the two-tone paper. We made this Valentine's card with the new paper from the bees, and it says "Be Mine" on the inside. And we used the two-tone paper to make this more monochromatic birthday card that opens like this and then opens again on the inside. And we used some of the cutouts that were in that paper to make that. So receiving these for commenting last week is Angelique. And I don't know if I saw Angelique on here this morning. Angelique is from Missouri. Congratulations, Angelique. I will get those in the mail to you today if they're going to go out. And then for sharing. So anytime you share, whether it's to your Facebook page or you email somebody the link, whatever you do to share, doesn't matter to me. Your name gets put into a drawing as well. You all get assigned a number, and I pick a number randomly, and receiving a pack of these low profile dots. I love these. You don't realize how low profile that, like, they're flat. There's no way anybody's going to charge you anything extra, but they're so shiny and pretty. Receiving these is Mary Van Domlin. So Mary, I will get those in the mail to you. And then for placing an order. So anytime you place an order, I do have a host code, which I forgot to share last week, I think, because somebody had to call me and ask me, what's your host code right now? If your order is under $150, if you could put in that code, it helps me to get these prizes. It will at least until about March 15th. And then March 15th, everything's changing. And I'll talk a little bit about that so that you know what those changes are. I might just do a video on that because not everybody needs to know, because some of you are demonstrators and you probably already know what the changes are. But receiving this Day to Celebrate stamp set, which is so versatile for either outside greetings or inside greetings, is Becky Weisky. So Becky, I will get this off in the mail to you as well. You might be at the funeral this morning. Who knows? Let's see. Are you on here this morning? I think I said hello to you. If you're going to be at the funeral, I'll bring it along with me. Yeah, you are on here this morning. All right. So that is what we have for prizes. So a couple of things, just to let you know, if you are on Facebook and you follow me on Facebook, you probably know this already. But Kathy Miller and I have our Wildflower Birthday to Go class that went live on Sunday. You can sign up for this up until next Saturday. I will be sending out my newsletter as well this week. So the information will be in there, but you get a pack of that Wildflower celebration paper. You get a pack of the party dots that go with that. And then instead of that gold ribbon that's really, really big, we chose to go with the pretty and pink ribbon, and all of our cards that we'll be making use the pretty and pink ribbon rather than that other ribbon. And so it comes with that, plus 6 cards. So you get all of the cardstock to make that. You get a PDF, you get a video. You can purchase just the PDF and the video. If you wanted that. If you're on my team, you get all of those for free, the PDFs and the videos. And speaking of my team, this is the perfect time. If you are thinking, gosh, I have an order here and my order is around $100, why not get $155 instead of the $100? Okay, so you can join my team right now. And for the $99 startup fee, you can either get 2 packs of markers and an exclusive stamp set valued at about $90. Or you can add an extra $30 onto the normal $125 that you get for that $99. Um, Being a part of my team, you get to come to my card buffets for free. You get any of the PDFs or videos that I sell. You get all of those for free. I have team meetings every quarter where I give away lots of prizes and try to spoil you a little bit. So if you are interested, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to let you know. Or if you know any of my team members and you'd like to sign up under them, they'd probably appreciate that as well. You don't have to sign up under me. You are still part of my team if you are part of their team. So I just like to throw that out there because I hate for somebody to spend $100 worth of products and then all of a sudden they find out later I could have gotten $155 for that and I got free shipping. So it's just kind of a special bonus. You don't have to do videos like this. You don't have to sell the product. You can just purchase it yourself for a 20% discount. And that's what everybody on my team does. Nobody really does it, works it as a business. They just love the discount. So I want to throw that out there because if I don't say it, you don't know, right? I also have going on right now my January ordering special. So with any order over $75, you will get an embellishment, a new embellishment. I have all kinds of things. I have party dots. I have some of those low profile dots. I have some of the antique dots. You'll just be getting one of those. I'll be sending those out at the end of the week because we are at the end of January already. So if you wanted to take advantage of that, you just have this week yet to go ahead and place an order over $75 to qualify for that. All right, I think that's it for announcements. I think it's time to get stamping. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera up here. And I'm going to turn my overhead light off. That takes care of all of the shadows that you end up seeing. I have to quickly, I don't think I have my catalog in here right now. Let me grab a catalog quickly. It's in the other room. I didn't disappear. I'm coming back. And my catalog's in the other room. Oh, goodness. I have been the last couple of weeks, I have been featuring some of these layouts that are on our mix and match page. 2 weeks ago, we did the seagulls and we did this layout right here. And what we did was we switched it and made it horizontal. Last week, with that birthday stamp card that we made, we were doing this layout. And instead of this being a rectangle, I made it that hexagon. And instead of that being a circle, I made that the B. So you can take your own little take on it. I have to go to a funeral today, like I said, and it seems like I have gone through more sympathy cards in the last month and a half than I ever remember going through. So we are going to make a sympathy card today because I needed one. And I'm going to use this layout right here. Okay. So I'm going to change mine up just a little bit because you can do that, right? So I'm going to, instead of this being one layer, I'm going to make that two, and I'm just going to have a little bit of a border. And I don't like a plain card front there, so I wanted to emboss it. So I am going to emboss that and lay it over the top. So that is where my layout came from. The paper that I'm going to be using, or the suite of products I'm going to be using, is our, I don't know where to put my mouse, I'll just put it there for now, is our mixed media floral, which has these beautiful papers that kind of look like watercolor or paint, you know what I mean? Like this, this one has a border all the way around the outside. So that's one side of the paper. And then on the back, we have some black and whites. We have some just kind of plain patterns. So that's the paper we're going to be using. With this is the mixed labels. And there's also the mixed florals, which I didn't bring down here because I didn't use it. But with the mixed labels, we have these dies that have different sized labels that are unique. I love this little ribbon thing that you can also put on there, and these greetings fit in the middle of that. So this is kind of a cool um, bundle that you could use. I am going to be using, I did this in two different ones. The one I'm going to be using today is this pattern right here. All right, so let's take a look at, I have to get to my banner, so I'm going to go away from the comments. Yeah, Becky, I like that paper too. Um, this is actually, this one isn't in the catalog. This one, this one is an online exclusive. Okay, so this one, trying to think which one you might be thinking of in the catalog. Might be the Celebration one. This isn't the Celebration. This one is actually an online exclusive, so you can see it online. All right, let me get to my banners here so I can give you some dimensions. And I got to find my envelope here. All right, so our card base is going to be Poppy Parade because that's the color that's in there. There's Poppy Parade, there's Boho Blue, there's some greens. So this is just a standard 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4.25. And then, whoops, I don't think I made a banner for this one. This is 4.25. And you know what? I think I'm on the wrong card. Let's go down to this card. Yeah, this is the one I want. I think I have the other one up there. Okay. Same dimensions though for the start. This is 4.25 by 5.5. All right. I do not like to emboss the fronts of my cards. I feel like it loosens them up too much and makes them kind of weak. So I prefer to keep a regular card base and layer the full thing with that on top. This is the embossing folder that comes along with that suite of products. And it looks like this. And I don't have a label on this yet. What's cool about this, I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of got this edge right here if you wanted to, and it's got the edge up here. If you wanted to put it in there, it kind of looks like you have, I don't even know how you would describe that. It's kind of like the bottom of the, like if you were plaster something and then you go and put the plaster or whatever, the design of your plaster over the top, and then this is just the regular basis of it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of cool. I ended up just putting it all in the middle to get sort of that plastery look. All right. And then I have a piece of basic black that measures 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And then my designer paper is 3.5 by 4 3/4. I have an inside layer that's 4 by 5 1/4. I have a little piece of the designer paper that measures 3/8 of an inch by 4 inches. That's just going to go on the inside. All right, I also cut out from those two labels. This is the back side of one of those papers, and it's the bigger of the labels. And then the smaller one I did in white to layer on top of that. Doesn't that look kind of cool? Somebody else did this on one of their cards. I'll show you some of the swap cards that I got with this set as well. But I thought that looked really cool to bring in that black and white because this black is in the background. So that is what we're going to be using. And I have a piece for our envelope as well. So the stamps that I'm using the Sympathy one that comes out of here. So it just says with sympathy, super easy. And then I wanted something for the inside, and I love this stamp set. I even thought of doing the sorry for your loss. And then but then I thought the with sympathy looked a little bit better. This was a little bit big for the front. Yes, that is a very realistic embossing folder, Jan. But some of these, praying for his comfort to soften the sadness and bring you peace, that's the one I'm going to use. The person who died was 96, I think she was. And she has been wanting to die for a very long time, but it's still sad for the family. So I thought that kind of fit in, just to kind of that they are at peace because she's at peace. To remember is to give life to those we've loved and lost is another beautiful saying. And then they also have one in here for a pet. The friendship of a pet is one of life's greatest gifts. And isn't that true? I always think, oh, she was 98, Becky. Yes. Um, I always think that when I hear of somebody's pet passing away, I'm always like, oh gosh, I don't ever want to think of that day when I lose my Lila because I don't know how I'd go on, right? So anyway, pets do become our lives. So, all right, let's go ahead and do our stamping. This is a super basic and super easy card. That's why it's in those easy layouts. Something that you can do pretty fast. I have to grab my Memento ink here. And I'm just going to, on this small label, stamp that with Sympathy. Just going to get this straight along the line here. I'm going to stand up so I can hopefully get that in the center. I did a pretty good job. All right. And then I'm going to do the other greeting on the inside. So praying for his comfort to soften the sadness and bring you peace. All right, so that is all the stamping that we have to do. I actually am going to take this off and go back to my comments because I get my Facebook ones. Hello, Julie. On your way to San Antonio. Awesome. Well, it should be hopefully a lot warmer there. I know it snowed in parts of Texas, but I don't think it got that snow that far down in Texas. All right, we're going to go ahead and layer this right onto there. Trying to make it so I have an even amount all the way around. Do you ever think of doing that? Taking a label and layering it with designer paper with like a pattern? It really does kind of look cool. I never thought of that. And somebody did that with a card that I got. And it's like, I love that look. So I copied it. All right. There is just a little bit, like a 1/16 of an inch border around here. So I'm trying to make it as even as possible. And then anytime I have an embossed layer, I like to use liquid glue. And you really want to make sure you go out all the way to the edges because you don't want them to curl up. Okay. You don't need to use more glue because it's embossed, but because I use liquid glue because it's going to spread once I put it down. And hopefully it's not going to spread too much in that area where I got a little heavy when it first came out. Okay, and I'm just layering this right on top of my card base. Like I said, some people emboss the card base. I don't like to do that. Oh, thanks, Lisa. A couple people have said that. My mom got it. It's I'm trying to think of the name of the company that she got it from online. It starts with a C, I think, Capio or something like that. Yeah, it's fun. All right, so that is our embossed layer now. You could have cut this 4 by 5 1/4, but I kind of liked how it filled up the entire card with the embossed part. And then I'm just going to set this on and I'm going to put that on, raise that up on dimensionals because there isn't a whole lot of other stuff going on this card. Super easy card. I like to add a little bit of stuff with dimensionals. Now, if you're putting this through the mail, you maybe want to, I'm doing 2 layers of dimensionals because I know I'm going to put it in the little box of cards at the church today, and it doesn't have to go through the mail. But if you are going to be putting it in the mail, you could take one of the layers and make those flat instead of raising both of them. All right, this is going to go here. Let's go ahead and put our inside layer in already. And just add a little bit of that paper to the inside as well. And then that picture that we had some ribbon running behind before this little label went on, there was like some ribbon behind it. So this is our Essentials Baker's Twine Pack. It comes with white, black, vanilla, crumb cake, and like a gray granite or smoky slate. Comes with all 5 of those. This is the black one. I'm going to go ahead and just put some adhesive in the center here. And then I'm just going to weave it kind of back and forth. So I'm going to go like this. And then just push that into my tape and do the same thing here. And you could do a second one if you want. I'll do that because it has showed kind of like 2 of them on that picture. I'm just making some little loops and pressing them in there. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut off the excess down here so I have a little bit of a tail. Okay. And then we'll take some dimensionals. Put them on the top. Look at that paper on the back of that, right? I'll show you one that I did with that paper because made 2 of these. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do. Did one in Calypso Coral and one in Poppy Parade. I liked them both, so it really wasn't, I'm like, I'll just pick this. I had more of this paper because I had used the other paper in a swap card. And I'm just gonna center that so my little ribbons come on either side like that. And then I'm just going to take some of these are sparkled gems, and they come with black sparkle just to add a little bit of sparkle to the card. And I'm just going to, my label was a little bit long for that greeting, and so I'm just going to go ahead and add a couple of those dots on either end to fill out sort of where it was a little bit emptier. All right, so that is our sympathy card with a nice greeting. So here is the other one that I made, and then here's the one in Calypso Coral with the blue background. So do you like the Calypso Coral? Do you like the red? Do you like them both the same? It doesn't really matter. I just thought easy layout, like when you need a card like the funerals today, and I needed a card and I needed it kind of quick. And so it went together really fast, and I let all that beautiful paper do all of the work. They can think that I colored all of that or that I stamped all of it. Someone who doesn't know might think that, but it's just that beautiful paper. And why do more work when we've got beautiful paper like that, right? Okay, so there's a matching envelope for it. And I can write a greeting. I don't have to write a super big greeting because I only have that much space, which is perfect for me. I don't never know what to say. So there is our first card. Now, some of the cards that I got in swaps using this same bundle, let me grab those for you. Well, this one I made in a swap that I was in, and I actually made this when I did my lives between Christmas and New Year's. So that's why I didn't have a lot of that paper left, because I had to make 21 of these. And that was not fun, having to make 21 of each of those ladybugs and have to cut those out. But I think the people appreciated it. All right. Let's see. I don't know where I took one of them out that had the label that was like that. This is from Rhonda Morgan. All right, and look at that fun fold. Okay, the two pieces are separate, and she has that black piece in between that brings them together. And then this was also from Rhonda Morgan. I'm guessing it's one of her cards that I used. But here she stamped that big stamp, and she just did a portion of it. And that's that one. And then this one was also from Rhonda. She had to do 4 of them, so that's why I'm thinking the one that I'm liking is there. So this one, oops, it opens actually like this. Okay. And then this one is from Lavon Schwendeman from Montana. And that opens like that, and then it flips up on the top. Okay, so a couple of different ideas with this product. Just sharing some of my swaps and where I get some of my ideas. I don't know where that other card is, but she had used the black as a background, and that's what gave me the idea. I kind of pull things out that I like and that I want to use in some of the stuff that I make. So it's probably pulled somewhere in my stamp room. All right. Okay, so that is card number 1. Card number 2 is going to be a fun fold. And we're actually going to be using the One More Year stamp set. I saw this fun fold on Susan Campfield's one of her lives. But she said that she got it from from Patty Bennett. And she said that Patty Bennett had gotten it from Melissa Faust. So see how everybody shares. So now I shared all of the things. Oh, Holly, which swap did you get one of my cards from? That's interesting. So this One More Year is the card or the stamp set that we're going to use. And I have a couple of swap cards that I can share with that as well. All right, let's go ahead and look at our dimensions. So I'm going to go away from the comments and go to the banners. All right, so we're using Lost Lagoon on this. Actually, let me show you the paper I'm using. So this is part of the online exclusives. Okay, so look at how pretty this paper is. So soft. It's got some wild wheat. It's got some gray granite. Has some pretty peacock. Very vanilla. Lost Lagoon. Look at that. And what's different about this, I love this one too. What's different about this paper, it's part of our scrapbook line. You only get 3 designs that are 2-sided, but you get 4 of each one rather than getting 6 and getting 2 of each one. So you only have 3 patterns. You get 4 instead of having 6 patterns and getting 2. So you still get 12. Oh, Holly, Carol's. Yeah, I'm waiting on Carol's swaps. Are coming out this week too. I just sent some in for this month as well. I actually used this stamp set for my swap for her this month. All right, so our card base is Lost Lagoon, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4, so it's just your normal fold. Then we have an insert piece, and I did mine in a thick basic white, and this measures 8 inches by 5 inches. And you're going to score at 2 inches, 3.5 inches, and 5.5 inches. So this section is going to be 2. This section right here is going to actually be 2.5. Okay, so this section is just a little bit bigger. So I'll let you know how to fold it when we get to that. Then I have a piece of the designer paper, and I took this one right here. We could have used that too, but I liked this, like where it had the different colors in it. And this measures 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of this designer paper that measures 1 1/4 by 4 3/4, and then one of them that measures 1 3/4, 1 3/4. This one was 1 1/4, 1 3/4 by 4 3/4. All right, that's all that I have for that. I cut out of wild wheat This is from the Spotlight on Nature dies. And then I did this one in white. And look at what happens. They're the same size, but when I put them on top of each other, you can see the wild wheat through the back of it. And so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to see the wild wheat because this is actually going to go on some Lost Lagoon. And instead of seeing the Lost Lagoon, I really wanted to get some of that wild wheat in there. So if I cut those two out, this one that kind of looks like the bottom of a Coke can, I guess. I don't know what it looks like. And then this one. All right. I also, from our Stylish Shapes, cut out this border or banner that we're going to be using for a greeting. And I have a piece of this for our envelope at the end. All right. Let's go ahead and let me show you. I'm going to bring my Big Shot in to show you how you have to do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to be making a circle in the front of our card that's going to have our little dog. And then we're going to make a little mechanism so that when we open it, that circle can be seen on the inside as well as on the outside. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I burnish this really well. I apologize for all of this coughing. Holy cow. Good morning, Mandy. All right, what I'm going to do is when I attach this to the front, I only want to have adhesive along the top, the bottom, and the sides. I need to keep the center part open because I'm going to be die cutting a circle out of here, and I want to use the part of the circle that is Lost Lagoon. Okay, so I'm going to just keep my adhesive on the bottom, on the side, and way up on top so that I don't chance taping together the two pieces where I want them to come apart. All right, we are going to use Stylish Shapes. I'm going to use the largest. This is 2 packs of them. I use these so much, and when I'm cutting for a class where I have to cut for 20 cards, it's a lot easier for me to take 2 of these and run them through at the same time than it is to have to wheel my machine that many times. So some of the dies that I use a lot, I end up having 2 sets of just to make it easier for cutting for classes. All right, and unfortunately, I do need my big one for this because my little one is not wide enough to be able to run what I need through. So what we have my cutting plate, I have the adapter, and I have a clear plate. I'm going to go ahead and set this down, and then I've got one for on top. What I want is I want this to be a little bit up towards the top, but then centered. Okay, so that looks about centered. It doesn't look like I have any tape here. I do have a Post-it note, maybe. Thought I had some Post-it notes. I do. I usually have some of my Post-it tape. Just want to make sure it doesn't move on me. Let's throw a couple Post-it notes on there. And run that through. And get rid of this. And we can get rid of these. Pull our Post-its off. All right, now because I didn't put that tape there, I have this that I can put back in there. Right, I don't need this. I can use this for another card. Set that aside. I'm going to put this back in my container here. I might even just throw this in there so I know I have it. I have a bucket that has all different die cuts, things that I cut and then I decide I don't want to use. I throw in a bucket in case I ever need them. The thing is, I never go and look there. That's the sad part. Okay, so this is my 2-inch side. This is my 2.5-inch side. My 2.5-inch side, I'm going to fold this in this is going to be the part that I stamp on. Okay, the next two folds are going to go the opposite way. They're going to go that way to form something that looks like this. That's going to go right inside of here like that. And then this is going to be in there to cover that. So when I open it, that circle is going to stay in there. Okay, that's how this is going to work. So you have to make sure that this side is your 2.5, and I am going to give these a good burnish. I just folded them real quick. And then we have a mountain fold and another mountain fold. Okay, before I attach this, I want to do my stamping on the inside. Good morning, Carol. And so I have Lost Lagoon here. And I'm going to say happy birthday. Nope, I'm going to say you're how old in dog years you'd be, question mark or dot, dot, dot. All right, so this is Lost Lagoon ink. I'm going to set this down flat. All right, I did a pretty darn good job there, right? All right, then before I attach this, I am also going to put my designer paper series paper on here. So I've got the wider one, the one that's 1 3/4 by 4 3/4 is going to go in the one closest to where you just typed your greeting. And the 1 1/4 by 4 3/4 is going to go in the one that's right next to it. This can stay blank because once we put it together, this is actually going to be on top of that. All right, so this is a little bit of a tricky fold, but honestly, it's not too bad. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna fold this like so that just this one section is showing. This is gonna go down on here, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna attach that first. So I'm gonna add my adhesive. You could use glue, you could use tape. What I want is I want this edge to come up to where my score line is, and then I want to center it from the top and bottom. Okay, so I want this to go right up to it. I don't want it to go over it at all. And I want to center it from top to bottom. And then when I have that done, I'm going to set this down and then give it a good press. So now this part is attached where I need it to be attached. Okay, now for the rest of it, what I want is I only want adhesive up here and up here. I can have a little bit right there. All right, can move in a little bit. I want to stay below that circle. And then just go ahead and close your card. And that's our little fold. Okay, so it makes this open up just like that. Fun, right? All right, let's set this aside. Let's do some stamping on the rest of it, and then we'll finish putting it together. Okay, so on the label on the outside, I want to do the happy birthday, another wrinkle wiser. I thought that was cute. And I want it to be a little bit to the right because I'm going to trim off the left side. Okay, and then in my Memento ink, I want to stamp my little dog. He is so darn cute. I was online last night looking to see I've always colored them in like a brown color, and they're more spotted. So we're going to try to be a little more spotted today. I had that in one of the cards that I got in a swap. They made them a little more spotted. I'm like, I think I'm going to try that today. So I'm going to color them just a little bit different than I colored my one that I did last night. All right, to add a little bit of fun around the outside of this, I brought in some of our wild wheat. Set this aside so I don't get anything on it. And we have our Lost Lagoon. And there is this little, kind of like a little fun, I don't know, confetti type thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp that in a few places around the dog in wild wheat. And then I did have a chamois here somewhere. Here one is. This is my chamois that cleans off all my stamps. I love it. And then we'll go ahead and put it in the Lost Lagoon and do a couple in Lost Lagoon. I think I stamped off on them when I did them last night, but that's all right that they're full strength. I think it'll still work out okay. All right, so that gives us just a little bit of fun around our little party dog. I'll put these away. We'll put this away. I'll bring in some blends so that we can color this. I feel like I'm missing some. There we go. All right, so I'm going to color his tongue and his nose. This is a light flirty flamingo, I think. Light flirty flamingo it is. Okay, I'm going to do the tassel of his hat in a light pretty peacock. I'm gonna make that a little bit darker. And of course, we're going to Wink of Stella that. And then I'm going to alternate the little stripes on his hat in wild wheat and Lost Lagoon. So we're taking in the colors from that paper. I just loved the color combination. I think somebody else said that. It's just really pretty, I think, the paper is. All right, now here's where I'm going to go a little bit rogue from what I did last night. I'm going to color his ears in the light pecan pie, or pecan, however you say it, depending on what part of the country you live in, I think. Here we usually say pecan, but I know I watch other people's videos and they say pecan, so whatever it is. So the bulldog, when I looked online, was more spotted. Hi, Diane and Donna. So I'm going to try to make him a little more spotted rather than having him be completely colored in brown. So I'm kind of looking at a swap card that I got right now, and they kind of added some brown there, and they added some here, and then they just kind of took and made some spots because really they are more spotted. I'm going to make the tail brown, and we'll go over here where we've got a little wrinkle. We'll add a little spot there, and we'll add a little spot down here because that's really more of how they look. They don't really look like they're completely brown. We'll do one paw. Lila has one paw that has a little white spot in it. All right, and that's how we're going to make our little dog. Okay, so I colored them all in brown. I'm making this guy a little bit more spotted. All right, then with the gray granite, I'm just going to make like a little ground for him to be standing on, okay? Otherwise, he's just kind of floating in air. So I'm just kind of taking it and lightly brushing a little bit of the ink from my marker so it looks like he's standing on something. All right, so I'm done with him. Done with the greeting. I think we're ready to put this together. So this is going to get layered onto that so we can see that wild wheat behind it. So these are exactly the same size. They're both from the Spotlight on Nature dies. They just happen to both be that same size. Isn't he cute? I just think he's so adorable. And then that's going to go on to our Lost Lagoon circle that we had cut out of our card front. And now this is going to go back in here, but I only want it attached to this section right here. So I'm actually going to put my tape on that section only. And then I'm going to make sure that he's straight, pop him back into the circle where that circle came from. And now when I open it, I can see him on the inside as well. Such a fun fold, right? All right, I did decide to take some of our Lost Lagoon cording that comes with our otter set, and I just kind of ran it underneath here like this and decided I wanted to tie a knot up in the top here. Oh, I cut off way more than I need. So got a little bit of cording going on there. And then I'm also going to trim off the end of this. And I could do that with my snips. But sorry about that. I like using my trimmer. I'm a little more precise. And I'm just going to go like that and trim that piece off. And I'm going to use some of my mini dimensionals on the left side so that cording is right next to it. And then we can put some bigger dimensionals right here. So this is just going to line up along the side there. And then it opens up like that. So fun, right? And then I thought it would be nice to kind of set off these little confetti things with something. So I did grab, let's see, where did they go? I did have some gems here for us to put there. Here they are. These are our iridescent faceted gems. I love these. These are probably my favorite because they just pick up whatever color you put them by. They are iridescent. So I'm just going to pop them in the center of the biggest, whoops, the biggest piece of little confetti that is in each of the colors. There we go. And isn't he cute? Happy birthday. Another wrinkle wiser. You're how old in dog years you'd be, dot, dot, dot. So fun. I love this because I think if you watch, excuse me, if you watched my week between Christmas and New Year's when I used this set, I find that when I go out with my girlfriends for their birthdays and we celebrate birthdays, my cards are always, oh, look at how pretty Sarah's card is. And the rest of them all buy each other the funniest card that they can find. Inappropriate a lot of times, but it's just like so like I'm always like, okay, but this is what I do, right? I'm trying to make a pretty card for you. But this is kind of cute because it has a little bit of humor to it as well. All right, so that is, whoops. Last night when I was making it, I ended up doing the You're How Old, and I thought it needed to be reversed. I thought the happy birthday should be on the outside. This is me coloring in the whole dog. I did try to use a little color remover to take some little spots that I added to it, but I like leaving it white and just adding my spots. That way I think better than how I did it. It just looks more like a bulldog, I think. All right, and then some other cards here. Here is a card that I got in a swap, and I don't have the name of the person that this is from, but they had some cute sayings on the inside. And then when I did my week between Christmas and New Year's, I did this card and I remade this for my swap. So Lori, if you get my swap this time, it's actually, I redid it in these colors. So this is Pebbled Path along with some Calypso Coral. And I used, instead of white, I ended up using some basic beige. I didn't put this extra ring around the outside. I didn't feel like it really needed that. Um, but yeah, that was that. But also in that set, I had received this card from Michelle Hornback. And this, I think, might be that fold. Nope, it's a little bit different. Okay, it's a little bit different. It pulls out this way, but same concept where it has a circle in the center and it pulls out. This one is from Sugar Creek Stamping, Greta. I'm not sure. So there's, that looks more like a, kind of looks like a weave that she made with the paper. And then this is from Diana Eichfield. This uses the cake. I love this embossing folder too. All right. And then this one uses, this is Mary Ann Grimmer, maybe that's how you pronounce it. This uses some of that vellum and that, look at, you can see she looks like she maybe used, I don't know if she used tape or it looks like it's some sort of a liquid. Maybe some clear liquid glue she put over the top of that to make it shiny. I don't know if you can see that it's shiny. How cool is that? And then this was the one that I did for a swap. And it opens like that. So that's that stamp set. A fun fold. It's kind of a unique fold to open up like that and be able to see the dog once you open up the card as well. All right, let's do our envelope. I'll get my swaps back in my box. I have them all kind of sorted by stamp set. And this matches the paper that I put on the inside. Just cut around there. And there we have a card ready to go in the mail for somebody's birthday. Could be, it's a nice masculine card. Even I think with these little gems, it still is pretty masculine. Okay, so there's that card. The card that we made at the beginning is somewhere around here. Let's see. How can my space get so messed up in just a short period of time? I set things down and then I go and set something on top of it. Oh, they're right here. Looking on the wrong side. Okay, so here are cards that we did with the sympathy, the birthday, and that is it for today. All right, let me come ahead and sneak back to you. I'm going to check comments here that with my overhead light off, it's horrible this way, but it's better the other way. Let's see, love a fold. When my hand is better, I'm going to try it out. Oh, Joan, you have a bad hand. That's the worst when you love to craft and you have problems with your hands. Thanks, you guys. I love I use the crumb cake for a dog a lot. Yes, I do too. I use crumb cake. This one happened to be light pecan pie instead of crumb cake, but normally I do use crumb cake. You're right, Tammy. I don't know why I grabbed pecan pie last night, other than my crumb cake might not have been. I might have just had a light one sitting in there because I just had a card buffet and I used a lot of my blends. So, all right. Thanks, you guys, so much for watching. I will be back next week. I'll be at my normal time. The week after, I'm going to have to do a taped video. I won't be live, but I'll tape a video ahead of time for you. I'm going to actually be on retreat. So thanks, Barbara, for your comment as well. And thanks, Mandy. I missed some of you guys on Facebook, so I apologize if I missed you. I'm going to be on retreat in 2 weeks. So my plan is to record a video and upload it and have it live that morning, but I won't be live answering comments. So if I'm talking, you won't be able to interact with me because it will have already been recorded. So, all right, I'm going to go get the things ready that have to go out in the mail. For those of you that won prizes, I will get those out in the mail today. Then I'm going to go to that wake, come home, watch the funeral, and probably do some stamping. So, oh, that light is just awful. So, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you have a great weekend. I hope you can find some time to be creative. I might even sneak in a nap today, too. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Bye bye.